Hello and welcome to Fifth and Grace. Today we're going to look at Tweedledee and Tweedleding-Dong, Harry and Meghan. And let's see what's going on with them. Because honestly, I don't think any of the Invictus games has been broadcast. One of the YouTubers I follow who is a veteran asked a really interesting question when he asked, does anybody know the name of any of the athletes at the Invictus games? And I think a lot of people probably thought, there's athletes? Yeah. It's the Olympics for veterans, basically. Yeah. I'm not sure if they're like injured veterans or just veterans. But, yeah. Let's just say the veterans aren't getting the attention. Meghan left on, I believe, the 13th. So she buggered off back to Montecito. And left Harry there on his own, and apparently that's been an improvement for his life. We know they can't stand each other. We know that. I mean, look, there's all you got to do is watch the YouTube videos. The look on her face. Oh my gosh, if somebody looked at me like that, I'd probably cry. So we know this man is in an abusive relationship, and he's, I don't know. I think that eventually he will be taken back into the fold in the royal family, just not as a working royal. And I've said this before in videos. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to tag all of my Harry and Meghan videos in the description of this video so that you can go back and kind of see the progression. Because in one of them, and I can't remember which one, I'd have to go back through them, I said that there would be movement towards a split up divorce, something at the end of February. And here we are. We're here. So in the next couple of weeks, we may hear some news that there's a divorce or they're splitting up or something, an announcement or whatever. I don't know how that announcement will come because normally it would have to come through Buckingham Palace. But since he's not a royal anymore, he's, you know, by blood he is, but by vocation he's not. So I don't know. I don't know if he would go to his father and say, I need an announcement that I'm getting divorced, and his father saying, okay, we'll do that. I don't know. And if Harry doesn't have Meghan, where does he go? He burned so many bridges. I guess maybe the Spencer family. I don't know. But anyway, let's have a little peek at their energy. It'll be really interesting to see what comes out for these bozos. And she's just, oh my God, did you see the Billie Eilish thing? Like that, so gauche. So gauche to do that. Billie Eilish is probably like, why is my name in your mouth? Really? I mean, I think they're with the same agency, but who knows? Who knows? So anyway. Tweedledee and Tweedleding-Dong. Here we go. Let's just have a little peek. 6 of Cups. I don't think these children exist. I think she rents them. Excuse me. I think she rents these children. And Stacey Schroeder, I think is her name. The little girl that they sometimes say is Lilibet, I believe that's her daughter. Like, she's using other people's children. And I think, didn't she use, like, one of Beatrice or Eugenie's children in a photo? Kind of, she didn't come right out and say, oh, this is my daughter Lilibet, but she's sort of, like, trying to make it look like this is her child. And it's just weird. She's very, Meghan, we're speaking, is very manipulative. In that she tries to make other people's children appear to be her children. Because, and like, you know what I mean? Like, we've never seen her children, her supposed alleged children. Because I just don't know that these kids exist. Let me know in the comments. What do you think? Do you think they exist? Do you think they were born by surrogate? Do you think they're someone else's children? Like, what do you think? Like, there was a video of her from Valentine's Day putting like cream cheese and strawberries on bagels, like whatever utter daycare nonsense that was. You know, you want me to believe that you're regal and royal and an HRH, and it was just a mess. But the little girl in that video is not 3 years old. That's for sure. And the child they say is Archie. I mean, he hasn't grown in years. Like he just doesn't, they just, it's so bizarre. The whole thing is so bizarre. But what this would be indicating is letting go of the past, focusing on the future, leaving home, independence, and that would be really hard for Harry to do with these children involved, because these children are in the line of succession. Do you know that children in the line of succession don't actually technically belong to their parents? They belong to the crown. So it could be ordered that these children are brought to England to live and not be left in America. Like if Harry leaves and he's not a part of their daily life and they live in California, but they're still part of the line of succession, the king could say, no, those children come back to the realm. So yeah, I think a lot of stuff is going to come out about the children, or it will come out, excuse me, I'm sorry, I'm still sick. Or what will come out is that Harry won't leave because of the children, or he won't leave because then the jig is up. Because then people are going to be like, all right, where are these children? And if they don't exist, oopsie. And if they do exist, but they're not their children, they're rental children, they can't take someone else's children like that. But if they do exist and they were born by a surrogate, because we know, allegedly for entertainment purposes only, that Meghan had a hysterectomy, like in her 20s, I think. Her brother said that. And I think her father has confirmed that as well. I don't know why someone in their 20s is having a hysterectomy, but it happens. It certainly happens. All right, what do we have here? The Knight of Swords. Excuse me. We're just going to pull up. I'm looking for timings to see what is happening like right now. So this card has no timing attached to it. So now or before they're ready. This is about them, like they're out of their depth. They don't know how to deal with all of this. The whole thing is out of control. And there's an inferiority complex attached to it. Narcissists loathe themselves. They hate themselves. They feel inferior. That's why they behave the way they do. And I believe they're both narcissists. Him, maybe not quite as severe as her, but certainly they are. There's an overbearing element to this. Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like? So, and excuse me, there's an unfocused energy which describes them completely. That they just can't settle on anything and just be really good at it. They're all over the place. Like, look at how many projects have they launched but never actually done anything with. So there's definitely, the words that are coming in are extravagance and tyranny. And I think that describes a lot about them. Oh, there we go. There we go. Somebody's heart's going to be broken. That's for sure. This is what she's going to look like too. She's going to have the ultimate narcissist meltdown. If you've never witnessed a narcissist tantrum, oh, yeah, what I call the great unraveling. And it's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to witness. My mother is a covert narcissist, quite malignant. And I've seen the narcissist tantrum, breakdown, meltdown. It's not pretty. It's not cute. And it's hard to respect people afterwards because it's just like, oh my gosh. And where that meltdown comes from is losing control of people. So while she's losing control of him, these tantrums and meltdowns will be taking place. And I'm pretty sure I've heard commentators talk about the tantrums in Montecito. So there we go. 7 of Swords. Sneaky. I'm going to look up, sorry, the timing of our 3 of Swords. No, nothing too exciting going on there. And this, excuse me. So the timing of this card, February 9th to 18th. Running away, deception, trickery, the enemy masquerading as a friend. This is our sneaky, sneaky, sneaky. I would not be surprised to find out she's shagging her next husband right now. Her next billionaire husband is, or me, well, I guess she'd have to find somebody who's never heard of her. So, Or maybe somebody who doesn't, there are people who don't believe all the craziness. There's people who think that they're the most wonderful people on the planet and everybody else is just wrong. And there's like 12 people like that in the world. And Meghan's one of them. And, you know, they do things like attack Tom Bauer and post online about how wonderful they are. Like, oh my gosh, no. But there's some sneaky sneakerson action going on here. Absolutely. Allegedly for entertainment purposes only. You know I'm right. You know I'm right. The Four of, and this is right now. The Four of Pentacles in reverse. Isn't that interesting? And let's see the timing there. Nothing, it's January date. So there's probably groundwork being laid. The Pentacles are always, I find we get dates that are just in the recent past for groundwork being laid for whatever's happening now. But this is about shedding the old and letting go of things and a loss of possessions. As people do when they get divorced, they tend to lose a lot. Unless you're a parasite and you end up with all of the other person's money because you've been living off them all this time. But not everyone's a parasite who lives off someone else. But we know she is. Allegedly. Allegedly. Yeah. But yeah, it's they're spending way too much money right now trying to look good. And they're going to lose a lot. There's not, you know what I mean? Like this court case that he did where he got like $10 million or something. Yeah, he doesn't have $10 million. He's had to pay all the lawyers. He's had to pay for a lot of things. He probably came back with $1 million or $2 million. And then she'd be grabby, and you see the claw. Gimme, 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 gimme. You see the way she does it. Every time somebody hands him a gift, she's like clawing and grabbing at it. And it's like, oh my gosh, like stay home. Stay home. All right, obviously I don't really like this woman. But the cards don't lie. The cards do not lie. The Knight of Pentacles, isn't that interesting? The Knight of Pentacles. I think, you know, I'm sure I say every card's interesting because they are. They are. This is now before we're ready. So this is imminent. And in reverse, it's like it's laziness, it's apathy, it's impatience. There's a lack of common sense. There's an instability, a physical, like a life instability. Their home is not stable, really, is what this would be telling me. And we know that. I mean, he flew back to LA to do the tragedy tourism in the LA fires, which apparently was against the law. They broke the law. So maybe when people regroup in that area, the police might be a little, knock, knock, knock. Why were you trespassing in a fire zone? You know, because they went to somebody's house and they're walking around and yeah, it's still private property. Don't forget that. But there's a lack of common sense here. And we see that. We see that playing out every day, especially during Invictus. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. And there's, you know, an element of being unskilled. Like neither of them have any tremendous skills. They're not educated. They've not really achieved anything in life. Sure, she was on a TV show and sure, he was in the royal family, but he did what he was told and probably played, you know, PlayStation in between. So there was an article that came out that said, you know, he needed his staff because if he had to put on his pants by himself, it would probably take him 2 weeks to figure it out. So yeah, not the sharpest tool in the shed. Not at all. Not at all. But there's like that unskilled element and there's a disloyalty. There's like all the things that we don't like about people. That's all wrapped up here right now. And things are stagnant. So like a knight card would always be like, giddy up, let's go, get on with it. But this is about being stagnant and not getting on. I think, oh, yeah, my guides are like, brrr. Um, what they're telling me is that he's afraid because he doesn't know what to do. He himself recognizes the whole thing's been a failure. It's a failed experiment, but he's kind of clinging to it because he doesn't know what else to do. And unfortunately, he's cut ties with his family. Like, I mean, he burned those bridges. Although I think his father's still paying for him. I think his father's sending him money. Because there's how else is he surviving when he doesn't make any money? So, and he's probably going to have to pay back money for those books that he didn't write. So yeah, that's yeah. And what do we have here? Justice in reverse as our final card, our shadow card. I'm going to look up this one's timing. Oh, how's the weather where you are? We have had so much snow here. It's crazy. There's like 3, 4, 5 feet of snow on the snowbanks. And every day we're getting a new snowstorm. I think it's snowing right now. Kind of crazy. All right, back to this. This is about injustice, dishonesty. There's corruption, unfairness, and a lack of accountability connected with this card. This is, I think he's seeing it the way it is. He's seeing it more realistically than she is. She's just like, no, everything's great. Everything's wonderful. Look at me. Look at me. Yeah. And if you watch the videos where people aren't looking at her, ooh, she's not happy. She's not happy. My concern is that there's going to be some false accusations or allegations made here. If she makes an accusation about him, it's probably a lie. It's probably a lie if she makes an accusation. Though there's a couple things I would really believe, but I think that if she makes an accusation as her reason for kicking him out or leaving or whatever, it won't be true. And it'll be so easy to prove. It'll be so easy to prove that it's not true, because remember, when you lie about someone like Prince Harry, the king won't be too happy. And he'll put his people on it to be like, no, 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 no. This affects the crown, and we're going to clear this out. So, yeah, there we go. Nothing really cementing some timing for us, but certainly in the past, we have had the end of February as something's happening. Don't know what that is, but something's happening. Let me know what you think in the comments. What do you think's going on with these two? Do you think they're going to announce a divorce or a separation at the very least this month? Do you think everything is just fine and tickety-boo and Montecito and everyone's happy, 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 look at me? Or do you think that it's all falling apart? And then where do you think Harry's going to go? What do you think he'll do? The Spencers have always taken him in. So I'm glad that he has them, because it would be a real lonely life without anyone. Like, I know myself, like, I have my husband and my son, and that's about it. I don't have any other family, anything anywhere else. So without them, I am all alone in the world. And that's where Harry would be, is all alone in the world. So I think I have compassion for him in this, because I'm familiar with that kind of situation, but at the same time, it's kind of his own doing. He could have said to his wife, shut your mouth. You know, he could have said, no, we're not doing Oprah. But he went with it, and he said things himself. And I think that because he's in this abusive relationship, he's not himself. He's kind of in survival mode. And you can really see the difference when she's with him, when she's not with him. So let me know in the comments what you think is going on, and where you think we're at with them. And in March, we'll look at this again and see where they're at. Thanks so much for stopping by, and have a magical day.